Hi, Fightmaster Yogis. This is Leslie Fightmaster, and welcome to Total Body Yoga for Weight Loss. So we'll begin sitting up nice and tall. Start to come into your Ujjayi Pranayama, breathing in and out through the nose, little constriction in the back of the throat. Then take one or both of your hands to the floor or the ground next to you, and allow that feeling to help bring about groundedness. Feel very connected and grounded to whatever surface you're on, your yoga mat or your floor. And then let's take our hands together in Anjali Mudra, setting our intention. May the yoga practice connect us to our bodies and help to remind us that we are just perfect and wonderful exactly the way we are. Bring our hands behind your hips. Take your feet flat on the mat. Take an inhale. Make sure the feet are hips width. Exhale. Lift your hips up off the floor. Stretch out the front of the body. Let your head tilt back any amount. Inhale, lower back down. And again, exhale to lift. You can always turn your fingertips out if it bothers the wrists. Inhale and lower. And once again, exhale. Spread across the collarbones. Reach your sitting bones toward the backs of your knees. Inhale, sit back down, and once again, exhale, lift and stretch out the front of the body. Take an inhale here and sit back down as you exhale. And last one, lift up again, stretching out the front of the body, spiral your thighs in toward each other. Allow your neck to lengthen in a comfortable way, and then lower back down. Cross out your shins and make your way onto hands and knees, and then stretch back into child's pose. Keep the arms extended in front. We'll make downward facing dog arms by spreading the fingers, shoulders distance apart with the arms. Press into the base of your fingers, begin to lift up through your forearms, and start to turn your outer upper arms, your triceps down toward the mat. Come up onto your knees. Inhale, bring your chest forward, lift your chin and tailbone up. As you exhale, round your back, chin toward chest, pull the ribs and belly in, and then take hips back to the heels. Let's do that again. Inhale to come onto the knees, widen across the collarbones, lift your chin and tailbone up. Exhale, round the back, chin toward chest, and then stretch your hips toward the heels, stretch out the spine. And again, inhale to come up. Drop the belly, lift your chin and tailbone up, draw shoulder blades toward waist, exhale, round the back, chin toward chest, and then stretch all the way back into child's pose. Once again, come back onto the knees, inhale into your cow pose, and then exhale into your cat pose. This time, let's tuck the toes and stretch back into downward facing dog. And bend one knee and the other just to start to bicycle the legs as you begin warming up in your first down dog. And then bend both knees, stick your buns up high, stretch back, lengthening out the spine. Arms are shoulders distance, feet hips width. Press into the base of your fingers as your forearms lift up and away. Take out a little pressure out of the wrists. And draw in through the ribs and the belly. And inhale to plank pose, top of a push-up, chest forward. Knees can be up or down here. This is your choice. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down to your belly. And interlace your fingers or hook your thumbs at your low back. Lift your shoulders. Inhale, Shalabhasana. Keep the back of the neck long. Pull the belly away from the mat and lengthen your sitting bones toward the heels. Take one more breath and release and rest. Let's take a breath here. We're going to do that one more time. So as you inhale, again, sweep your hands to your low back and interlace your fingers, other pinky or thumb on top. Lift the shoulders, lift up. Try not to lock out the elbows. Keep the back of the neck nice and long, inner thighs spinning up, and release. Hands by low ribs, then inhale for a little cobra pose. Or if you're ready, upward dog, thighs and knees off the floor. And then exhale, tuck the toes into downward facing dog, stretching all the way back and breathing here. If at any time you want to break, please take it. Take the knees down and rest. It's always, always an option. You can even push the pause button for as long as you like. Keep stretching back and breathing, then looking up, step or hop your feet forward. Inhale, come halfway up and lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold, bend the knees as needed. Rooting through the feet, rise up, inhale, and exhale to Samastitihi, mountain pose. Come to the front of the mat, feet together or hip socket distance apart. Make sure the outer edges of your feet are parallel. Press evenly into the feet, firm the legs. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold over the legs. Keep the length in the spine. Then inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, make your way back into plank and lower chaturanga. Shoulders no lower than elbows. Then inhale, press up, shoulders over wrists. Exhale to downward facing dog. Please feel free to modify upward dog with cobra pose. You can stick with cobra. Also during chaturangas, you can keep your knees down. Breathing here. Try and keep your inhales and exhales equal in length as you stretch back again, lengthening through the spine, and then look up. Lightly step or hop your feet forward. Inhale, look up, lengthen, and then exhale, fold, crown of the head reaching toward the floor. Press down through your feet and rise up as you inhale, and exhale to Samastitihi. Again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold over the legs. As you inhale, lengthen, look up. On the exhale, stepping back into plank, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, always your choice. And exhale, tuck the toes, stretch back into downward facing dog, breathing here. It's a very, very warm day today. So I wanted to do a very long practice, but my mat started getting so hot it was burning my feet. So it's a little bit shorter than I wanted it to be, but still effective for sure. Look forward, step or hop your feet up. Take an inhale to lengthen, and exhale, fold. Hips over the heels if the legs can straighten. Press through the feet, rise up as you inhale. Samastitihi, exhale. Inhale again, sweep the arms up. Exhale, folding forward for Surya A. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out your spine. Exhale, step or float. If you float back, land in chaturanga with your elbows bent. Then inhale, upward dog or cobra, and exhale, stretch into downward dog. Arms, shoulders distance, feet, hips width apart. As you press into the base of the fingers and lift up through the forearms, turn your triceps back, upper arms back, biceps forward, inner upper arms, and then press a little extra into the thumb and first finger side of the hand. Right leg lifts on an inhale, and now bend your knee and open up your hip as you exhale. Continue to press evenly through the arms and the shoulders. Square off the hips as you exhale. Bring your knee forward, shoulders over wrist, press away from the floor using your abdominal muscles, and then lightly step it up by the right hand and come on up into high lunge. So pull the right hip back, bend the left knee, tilt your pelvis forward just a bit, and now stretch through the back leg. Continue to draw the right hip back. As you exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest, bring your hands all the way to the floor, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, press back into downward dog. Next, inhale, lift the left leg back and up from the inner thigh first, and then bend the knee and open up the hip. Again, pressing evenly through the arms and the shoulders. Try and reach that right heel down if you can. And now squaring off the hips, exhale, knee toward nose, shoulders over the wrist. Press away from the floor. So it's like your cat pose, except you're in more of a plank. Then looking forward, lightly step it up, stand the ball of the back foot, and come on up into your high lunge. Again, bending the back knee, pull the left hip back, lengthen through the lower back, pull the belly in, lifting hip bones toward the lower ribs, and then stretch up through all four sides of the waist. Make sure your elbows are straight. Exhale, bend the elbows, swing the hands down, chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog, and exhaling back into downward facing dog. Now remember, we're going to do a few more sun salutations, and you don't have to take all of them. You can skip it and go right into downward dog if that works better for you today. You can always work up to more as you continue practicing. Take a breath in, exhale it out, bend the knees, step or float feet to hands. Inhale, look up, lengthen, exhale, and fold. And then pressing through the feet, rise up as you inhale, stretching tall. And to Samastitihi, exhale. Again, to Tadasana at the front of the mat. This time bend the knees as you inhale into chair pose. As you exhale, belly to thighs, then straighten the legs to Uttanasana. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, stepping or floating back. Find Chaturanga. Knees can be up or down. Inhale into upward dog or cobra. Exhale back into down dog. This time inhale, right foot steps by right hand. Spin the back heel down for warrior one. Pull the right hip back. Exhale, chaturanga, or skip it and go to down dog. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. One breath here. Step the left foot up by the left hand. Spin the back heel down. Warrior one. It's one long inhale. As you exhale, come back through chaturanga. Hug the elbows in, then inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. So as we practice our yoga, we're getting our bodies stronger and more flexible, but we're also lengthening our breath. So it's breath training too. Slow down your breath here so your inhales and exhales are equal. Remember, you can always rest in child's pose. Look forward, step or hop the feet up. Take an inhale to lengthen the spine. As you exhale, fold, then bend the knees, drop your hips, come into Utkatasana, and then to Samastitihi. Again, inhale, bend the knees into chair pose. Exhale and fold over the legs. As you inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, step or float into chaturanga, shoulders no lower than the elbows. Inhaling, upward dog, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, down dog. So again, inhale, one long breath, right foot steps, back foot flat, line up heel to heel, warrior one. And exhale right away through chaturanga, or you can skip it. Inhaling up, exhaling back. Inhale, your left foot steps right away, back foot is flat. One long breath all the way. Exhale, lower back down through chaturanga. Inhaling up. Exhale, stretch all the way back. Again, even out the breath here so your inhales and exhales are equal in length. Keep pulling in through the lower belly, the ribs in and up. Firm the outer hips in toward the midline. And then this time, take your knees down, walk your hands forward. This is called Anahatasana, stretching out the shoulders and upper back. Keep the hips right above the heels. As you're reaching forward with the arms, continue to turn the outer upper arms, triceps down toward the mat. Lift the inner upper arms, biceps up toward the ceiling, and then press a little extra into the thumb, first finger side of the hand. Coming back up, walk the hands back slightly so you can come back into downward facing dog. Again, stretching back arms and ears in line with each other, pressing the weight up to the hips, and then reach it down toward the heels. Look forward, lightly step or hop the feet. Take an inhale to lengthen. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees again to Utkatasana, chair pose. Weight into the heels and then to standing Samastitihi. Take a quarter turn, face the long side of your mat and turn your right leg all the way out. Back toes in slightly, heel to arch. Arms up, inhale. Exhale. Come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So you're hinging from the hip to get into it. And right hand to shin, foot, floor, or block. Stretch up through the left arm and now stretch out the side body. As you inhale, reach the left arm in line with the ear forward. And holding here, exhale, bring it back up. Now pressing into the front foot. Reach the right arm forward. If that's too much, keep it down, but keep pressing into the big toe mound of the right foot. As you inhale, come on up. And we'll do the other side. Turn the left leg out. Hinge from the front hip, reach out and down for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Stretch the right arm up. If it's okay, you'll look up toward the right hand. If it bothers the neck, then you won't. Inhale, reach the right arm forward, stretching out the side body. Stretch the bottom side of the torso just as much. Keep pressing firmly into the big toe mound of your left foot. And now maybe you'll reach the left arm forward, making an L shape with your arms for the love of yoga. Keep pressing into the front foot, the base of the big toe, and come on up on your inhale. And then bring your feet to parallel, hands to hips. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, Prasarita Padottanasana. A. This is when I realized that my feet were really, really burning. So this will be the last standing pose that we do. Lift the shoulders away from the ears, hips right over the heels. Now lengthen as you inhale. Exhale the hands to hips. Inhale, come on up. Step back to the front of your mat into Samastitihi. Now I have a little towel underneath my feet. I'm going to practice tree pose. Bring your right foot up anywhere above or below your knee. Hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up through the arms. Try and drop the right hip down as you pin the left hip in towards center. Pull in the ribs, lengthen through the back body. Keep a steady gazing point. We're going to keep the leg up, point the knee forward, and then extend the right leg straight out in front of you. Continue to drop the outer right hip down. Now keep that steady gazing point as you swing that right leg back slowly. Begin to lift it from the inner thigh, hands to heart, or you can do arms out to the sides. Then slowly make your way back and extend the leg in front one more time. And really using the belly muscles, the core muscles to stabilize, and then slowly release. And we'll do the left side, grounding through the right leg. Pick up your left foot, taking it anywhere above or below your knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Try and drop the left hip down as you pin the right hip in. Stretch up through arrow straight arms. Keep pulling in through the belly. Keep a steady gaze as you're breathing here. And then point the knee forward, extend the left leg forward. Continue to drop the outer hip down. Keep reaching through the arms. And then slowly bring it back behind you. Start to lift it from the inner thigh. Drop the outer hip down. Hands to heart or out to the sides. And keeping that gaze, we're going to slowly again bring it forward without touching if you can. Extend the leg out again. Holding here, stretch up through the arms, pull in through the ribs and the belly, and then release it back down into Samastitihi Tadasana pose. I'm going to come down into Malasana, a squat. Toes and knees point in the same direction. So if your toes point out, make sure your knees do. If your toes can point straight ahead, your knees can also. Lift your chest. And then just sit your bottom right down on the floor for boat pose, Navasana. Lift the chest. You can always hold on behind the knees for a little more support, but make sure your back isn't rounded here. And then release. And once again, into boat pose. Now squeeze the knees, straighten the right leg. Squeeze the knees, straighten the left leg. Squeeze the knees, right knee straight. Squeeze the knees together, left leg straightens. Right and left. Keep squeezing the knees. Keep the chest lifted, both legs straight if you can, but keep that spine long. And then release. I'm going to add a little bit of pranayama to this next one. So this is exhaling through the nose like you're blowing out a candle through the nose. Oh wait, not yet, sorry. Lower down. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, start to lean back. If this bothers your back at all, don't do it. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale, lift up, keep the spine long. Exhale, lean back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, back. Inhale, lift, and release. I believe the pranayama is coming next. It's the Kapalabhati breath. I'm going to sit up nice and tall and come into boat pose. Take an inhale and an exhale. Now, like you're blowing out a candle through your nose. Inhale. Keep going if you can. Almost done. Now hold the breath and release, exhale. Good job. We're going to do that one more time. So take an inhale and an exhale. We're going for 54 pumps, just like you're blowing out a candle through your nose. Sitting up nice and tall. Remember, keep the spine long. You can always hold on behind the knees. Take a breath in and an exhale. Inhale, and here we go. Keep going. Every time you exhale, pull the belly in and up. Inhale, hold, and release. If you thought that was difficult, you were probably right about that. So take a breath here. And now we'll come right up onto the knees. For camel pose, Ustrasana, now we'll stretch out the belly muscles. So first, take your hands to your low back. Spin the inner thighs back like you're holding a block. Roll the shoulder heads back. Start to lean back as your hips gently press forward, as if you're lifting hip bones to lower ribs. Reach your sitting bones toward the backs of your knees. Squeeze the legs, come up both shoulders at the same time. You can do that same thing, or some of you might reach for the feet. So same exact position. If you're reaching for the feet, you'll reach for the heels. Lifting hip bones toward lower ribs, spinning inner thighs back. Imagine there's a string attached to your chest. It's getting lifted up toward the sky. Let your head go any amount. When you're ready to come out, squeeze the legs, come up both shoulders at the same time. That's important. We don't want to tweak the back. One more time, same thing. You can reach the feet or keep the hands at the lower back. Or if you happen to have bricks, you can put a brick on either side of your ankles. So as you're going back, gently press forward with the hips, lifting hip bones toward lower ribs, lengthening sitting bones towards the backs of your knees. Let your head go any amount. Try to keep your hands, if they are on your heels, just lightly there, like you are getting pulled up by that string attached to your chest. Come on up both shoulders at the same time, and then rest in child's pose. Take a couple long breaths here in your child's pose. Return to your Ujjayi breathing so your inhales and your exhales are equal in length. And then make your way back up. And sit your hips off to one side, extending the legs out in front of you. Bend your right knee into your left inner thigh. Inhale, both arms up. Turn toward the straight leg. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Come forward any amount. As you lengthen, inhale. Exhale to extend. I had a strap right next to me. If you want a strap, you can always put that around your foot. I forgot to use it. Relax your shoulders away from your ears as you breathe here. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, release. Bring your left hand behind you, right arm up, inhale. Exhale, take it over to the left leg, anywhere you like. Sit up tall on an inhale. As you exhale, roll the left shoulder back and twist. So you're twisting a little bit in the bottom part of the spine and the most toward the top. And then back to center, bending the left leg, extend the right leg forward. Exhale, hinge from the hips to come forward. Janu Sirsasana. Try and keep your spine really long. So leading with your chest. So if you're touching the leg, try to have your belly touch the leg more than worrying about whether or not your head does. Keep the right toes pulling back, firming that leg. And then inhale your head up, exhale and release. Right hand behind you, inhale left arm up. Exhale, take it across to twist. As you inhale, sit up tall and lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, roll your right shoulder back and continue to pull the right toes back as you twist here. Then bring the head back to center, unwinding. And then we'll make our way down onto our backs for our final resting pose. Take a few moments to get comfortable here. Allow your feet to flop open. Take your arms by your sides, your palms facing up, or you can rest your hands on your belly if you like. Keep the chin away from the chest gently to lengthen the neck. As you're settling in, our quote from Barbara De Angelis says, "You never lose by loving. You always lose by holding back." And now just rest. And begin to reconnect with your breath. Start to move your fingers, your toes, your hands and feet. Stretch out through your arms and your legs. And then bending the knees, roll yourself off to the right for a moment, thanking yourself for coming to your mat today, taking your practice, and then make your way up to a comfortable seat. Sitting tall, cross at your shins, bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. Let's bring the hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Our hands to the heart center to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. And our hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communication, sending out this wonderful energy we've created to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed your practice. See you later. Bye.